The Cathayan desert is unforgiving. Yet, to the Tiger warriors, it is home. For generations, the frontier beyond the mountains of heaven has sheltered them from Sinch's schemes. Guided there by the living prophecy of the White Tiger. Now, chaos waxes strong once more, and Bhashiva rises against its tide. A mercenary lord of Shangyang, poised between her oath and a mandate of reckoning against the powers of ruin. The desert tigress leads into the gathering dark.
While we gather for a new campaign, RuinusInsight here, welcoming you to part 1 of a brand new Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign. A new DLC is nearly upon us, bringing beastmen not corrupted by chaos, the Tigermen of the East, with Bhashiva and her Tiger Warrior brethren being added to Cathay's roster. But hold the catnip, plugs before we start. Check out our Discord and join the Ruinous host. Consider joining the channel or becoming a Patreon to get access to perks like exclusive votes, or support the channel by purchasing games like this DLC through the affiliate link in the description below. Now, let's take a quick look at this faction. Bhashiva is a Lord of Shangyang. Her access to regular Cathayan units is limited, but both the Cathayans and her own Tiger Warriors do get special upgrades, some of which are extremely strong. Since Bhashiva is in the service of Jiao Ming, they have a pretty big relationship buff, and for obvious reasons, Tiger Warriors serve her entire faction for less upkeep. For her own army, it's pretty simple. Her Tiger Warriors replenish faster, always nice to have considering they're relatively fragile, and her entire army fights considerably better in ambushes, as well as moves faster at all times. I get pretty happy whenever I get speed buffs for any armies, as speed is such a great stat. Lastly, Bhashiva has a passive damage and leadership aura, White Tiger, for Tiger Warriors nearby. A lovely little buff that makes, high damage dealing attacky units high damage dealer and attackier. Other than that, i.e. setup wise, we're going with very hard, as I find that to be the sweet spot, and AI stats dialed all the way up to the max. That's it for me. All glory to the algorithm, and let's get to it.
Hunt with me, Tiger Warriors. Through honor, we persevere.
Alrighty, I mean, yes, we can persevere through honor, but, also copious application of clawing people's faces off. That helps a fair bit too. Anyway, here we go. Bhashiva on field. Let's take a quick look at how she plays. So we gather the Iron Favor currency by defeating the enemies of Jiao Ming and via the caravan system as well, taking settlements, fighting armies, etc., etc. And we use this currency to both gain access to Cathayan units and to upgrade them as well. But we'll see the armies of Shangyang once we actually unlock the thing. The other important aspect of Bhashiva is yet another currency, which is the relics of the Tigermen. They are all over the place in particular settlements, so we have to go there, conquer them, take up those relics, and then use them for a bunch of Tiger Warrior upgrades and faction-wide upgrades as well in the Tiger Court that we will once again see once we actually unlock it. Otherwise, we have the Ivory Road, so the standard sort of Cathayan caravan system, but with a little bit of a Tiger Warrior touch to it, as we're essentially escorting the caravans with Tiger Warrior mercenaries, and we'll also be gaining the Iron Favor from completing those convoy routes. We have a bit of a reworked Cathay and tech tree with obviously the Tiger Warrior stuff mixed in, and different sort of infrastructure for Bhashiva in general. Lastly, as I have a tendency to forget about this, the victory conditions for Bhashiva here. We have basically stuff that means engage with the various currencies, which basically means they'll solve themselves, and otherwise are set against all the non-Greasus ogres, as well as Grimgore's Ard boys for the short victory, and +3 for all heroes. That's a pretty darn good short victory condition. Hello, we have a Claw Speaker of Beasts, one of the new heroes rather. We start with a massive 75% character experience gain and magic item drop chance. I do wonder if this works for heroes rather than lords, but the XP will be nice as well, and we'll pop you in here to replenish the troops. Then, I assume we can't do anything interesting. We have, okay, yeah, you know, let's just grab a couple of ogre mercenaries immediately to join in with our own mercenaries, and then let's head in for our first cinematic fight against Bull Mallet Hands of the Blood Guzzlers. Alrighty, close victory, casualties low, but we gotta see Bhashiva and the rest of the Tiger Warriors on field, and then we can do stuff afterwards. Go.
Pounce from the shadows, swift and brutal!
Alrighty, here we go. It almost feels bizarre to understand the speeches from the characters. Again, I got so used to not understanding the horrifying things I'm sure the Chaos Dwarfs are saying in my Hellbeard campaign that, yeah, it just seems odd. Anyway, Bhashiva is on field, looking pretty darn great, and I do like the color scheme already. Ever since Castalton, I've been questioning the color schemes a little bit more. But anyway, the Jade Warriors will all really nicely match with our color scheme, and since I believe our faction does not have access to the Celestial Dragon Warriors or Celestial Dragon Guard except by completing missions, as in we can't recruit them directly, it's nice that everything's going to be nice and color coordinated. Anyway, these are our Iron Claw Tiger Warriors with those Guandao, and then these are the regular Tiger Warriors with those twin axes of theirs, meant for smashing into enemy rear lines and hacking apart their fragile light infantry. The battle, however, will start with our range units, our Jade Warrior crossbows laying down their fire upon the Ogre Bulls as their main target, while switching from the Nobbers, which they had hit first. While our own Ogre Bulls will first countercharge the Saber Tusks and engage them, and thereafter allow the Tiger Warriors to rear charge and obliterate those poor little Saber Tusks. Although, damn, I always, because usually you see Saber Tusks together with Ogres, you forget how big they are. I mean, they make those Tiger Warriors look tiny by comparison. But the Saber Tusks are already out, and Bhashiva herself is trying to rush after the enemy lord, who is actually ignoring her in favor of trying to chase down our Claw Speaker here. Makes sense to try to knock out the caster, but a little bit annoying as Bhashiva wants to get her first duel going. Or perhaps not quite a duel, as the Tyrant is now pinned in place by the Jade Warriors before Bhashiva arrives and starts stabbing him in the back. I'm excited for when we eventually start fighting other factions like Chaos Dwarfs and Greenskins, because I'm willing to bet that we won't be able to see execution animations that are particularly neat against ogres. We will see all of the teleporting and nice attack animations, but I'm willing to bet that the execution animations are generally for infantry. Anyway, Bhashiva is working away at the enemy lord while the rest of the enemy army has quickly collapsed, and by the looks of it, the enemy lord will shatter and run as well. Let's just double check, speed it up a teensy bit for a few seconds, and see if she can execute him in some way, in some particularly neat way, or whether he just dies. Alright, come on, Bhashiva, deliver the final blow. Now's the time. There we go. Looks like just a regular strike fells the tyrant, but not to worry. We'll get more kills and more executions as we go. Alright, there we go. Oh, a surprisingly high amount of a treasury reward for that, 1.8k, very nice. And we'll certainly put that to good use in the early game, and considering it's the first basically unlosable fight, we took so little damage that there's no need to heal, and we can take further money. Bhashiva only got the 1 kill, but I'd wager it was Bull Mallet Hands, and thus the important one. He really wanted to close with our Claw Speaker, but fortunately the Tigermen, if not quite as fast as Ogres, are fast enough to sort of reposition themselves as needed. Anyway, we will pardon those captives, like so. And then hello, what do we have here? The White Tiger's calling. To serve a lord of Xiangyang is a sworn duty that permits no negligence beneath the exacting gaze of the Iron Dragon. Many ages after your people's fateful crossing from beyond the mountains of heaven, the Tiger Warriors have grown to proudly call the Empire's western frontier their home, and a hunting ground fit for your vigil as the White Tiger. Yet that sacred duty bears terrible burden, for yours is a prophetic charge that awakens only in times of great peril. Now such peril gathers upon the horizon, and your claw speakers warn of violent turmoil in the elemental winds. At their behest, you must seek out the long-lost artifacts of your people scattered throughout the world. To lead the Tigermen or Tiger Warriors to victory, you must occupy marked settlements containing relics. I kind of went over that already, so there we are. Capture and occupy the following settlement: Blood Peak. You know, I guess we'll read these. These might be interesting. With revulsion, you find ogre settlements crudely clustered around the subtle pull of a relic. As you stalk their perimeter, you recall teachings preserved by the Elder Sawai and Claw Speakers. The manifold artifacts of your people chart the history and proud heritage of the Tiger Warriors. The oldest relics predate the exodus from Ind, including some said to be remnants of Kamau's battle with Tzeentch, fought in immemorial times to wrest your kin from his grasp. Scattered across the continent over the ages, each still bears enduring significance to the identity of the Tiger Warriors and to their bond with their savior God. For generations your people were content to let them linger. Now the portents whispered upon the elemental winds warn your claw speakers that this can no longer be so. Alright, fair enough. Defeat an army belonging to the Blood Guzzlers. We got a free Lichbone Pennant. Well, that's a nice early game pickup, I gotta say. Magical attacks probably for our single unit of Iron Claw Tiger Warriors. It would be nice if we got one of the Stalker units as well for the Inspiring Presence for you. One of the Stalker units as well for the Disc Thrower units, but anyway. So just curious, what do we have here? Cooldown reduction for Ferocious Ambush, which is that trait that all the Tiger Warriors have. Gaining Unspottable will be nice in order to act as an assassin, which is kind of what this character is about. Leadership when fighting chaos, essentially. Physical resistance for all Tiger Warrior units, and fear for Tiger Warrior units. I don't dislike the allegiance points gain extra and the extra allied recruitment unit capacity. I am, however, surprised to see that there aren't actually a lot of buffs for the Tiger Warrior units in this particular army. Just the 10 physical resistance. I wonder if the Tiger Warrior Lords actually have more buffs for the Tigermen than Bhashiva does, but I guess we will see. Distinguishing Scar Strong. Strong is nice. Alrighty, anyway, we got our first tech to go through, and usually we'll want to start with provinces, as in the economy. Hello. Yin Flow, Growth and Control. Yep, that's what we're doing. That's an easy pick. Income from industry isn't bad. What else do we... Hello, construction cost reduction for capitals. Yes, now that's an important one. Yeah, alright, so we're going to go immediately to that. Oh, infrastructure reduction costs. Oh, these are both very nice. Did we start with infrastructure? Both options, I'll think about it. Go for yin flow first for that controlling growth. Speaking of infrastructure, Vale of Titans. We basically have the option of going through the peasants' huts / villager tree, which does give us a massive construction cost reduction of 30 and a growth plus 15 at the cost of control. It would essentially pay for itself in terms of building up the tribal enclave, but at a much slower growth rate than just by going through this. The White Tiger Shrine would give us comparatively 30 plus 10 growth rate and a 5% construction, buildings, and control. So I'm going to say that's the way we go for now. Yeah, even though vanilla doesn't really punish loss of control in the same way that that SFO does, but anyway, you're just gonna have to get used to it. You, Claw Speaker, will want to grab Flock of Doom as fast as possible, and we'll also want to send our first caravan out immediately. Alchemy Dabbler, hero capacity +1 for alchemist. Oh, you can get... Huh. Wait, you have an alchemist in your army. Does this mean that this counts for our capacity, or... I'm not sure. Or we can get something with crane gunners, a couple of tiger warriors. I'm actually going to say the alchemist, simply because it's just nice to have a caster in a caravan army. Though gunpowder enthusiast is quite nice. Alchemy Dabbler it is. And I guess we'll send you to whatever closest place we can get. Ooh, 375 iron favor already for Karazakarak. Yeah, alright, Karazakarak it is. It's an easy choice. We could increase the amount of gold, significantly increasing the amount of iron favor. I don't know how useful this will be immediately, because obviously I haven't gotten that far yet, but let's give it a shot. Go. Also, you better not die. There's probably green skins over there, so that might punish us. Otherwise, Bhashiva, I believe you are... Oh, you're just in range of Blood Peak camp here, right? No more ogres to recruit, and nothing else to recruit, so I guess we just head to the camp. And I'm going to give this to the Iron Claw Tiger Warriors here. I don't really see the need to fight this again. I do wonder how much damage we'll take. It does say close victory, but we do have a casualty or punishment bonus out of the Claw Speaker, so maybe we'll risk it. Auto-resolve this. And let's see how much damage we take. Oh wow, the Ogre Mercenaries got barely damaged. What we did get, however, is a Kite of the Uttermost Airs. That's an anti-flying thing, but the bonus speed will actually help Bhashiva assassinate stuff early. I regret auto-resolving that, but hopefully it won't matter too much. I guess we could heal rather than the 300 gold, but it's also so minimal. Yeah.
Give thanks to Kama.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It will also increase the replenished troops rather than grabbing Flock of Doom. Ogre Mercenary. Recruitment cost reduction for Ogre Mercenaries. Nice. Upkeep reduction for Jade Warriors and Jade Warriors with Halberds. Nice. There's that Kite of Uttermost Stairs. And you cannot go into a stance, but what you can do is grab a couple of... I'm going to say just go straight for a couple more Tiger Warriors. We'll grab some peasants as well to help hold the line so that the Tiger Warriors can smash into the enemy back lines, but, you know, not immediately. Let us... I'm going to... Wait, I just need to see something. Are we able to reach Blood Peak in one go? By the looks of it, we are. Meaning we don't need to go immediately for Root Marcher and can grab Unyielding for the fight to power up. I noticed that the Stalkers, the range units, are buffed by this, and they don't seem to double dip into the ranged buffs, meaning Tiger Warriors cannot be given additional range buffs. Fair enough. Alright, Tiger Warriors, and I believe that's all we can do. We seem to lack capacity to get any new Lords on field, which I would have preferred to have done immediately, but oh well. I guess that's an end turn. Wait, diplomacy check. We can trade with Karaka Zorn, though by the looks of it, Goldtooth is also going to be at war with them, making this kind of pointless, as Goldtooth will also be friends with the Iron Dragon and perhaps will want to stay friendly with Goldtooth. He's also fighting some of the Ogre factions that we don't like and might enjoy that. Interesting. Alrighty, I'm thinking we ignore this for now then, the diplomacy aspect of it, I mean, and let's try to get to that first relic. Hopefully these guys summon a Lord or something here at Blood Peak to have a proper defense. I wouldn't count on it, though. And these guys we're not at war with yet. Ooh, I would like to buy at least one more ogre mercenary. We don't necessarily have to keep them in Bhashiva's army. In fact, we very likely won't keep them in Bhashiva's army because they're basic ogre bulls, and the Autoresolve doesn't seem to like them too much. But there will be other armies wherein I'm sure they will be of some use. What do we have here? Fight the battle. I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah. They got some man-eaters, first caravan thing. I like it. Close victory, low casualties. Since this caravan is just starting out and I'm a little bit concerned it gets hit by greenskins, let's fight this. Plus, more Tiger Warrior action. And oh, we got Tiger Warrior Stalkers in this one, so we can actually use those, discs, which do have anti-infantry. Lovely. Let's check them out.
Let their weakness be the sense that guides your blade.
All right, I didn't quite catch what the Lord said. Was maybe a little bit too late to listen to his speech, but that's all right. This is also going to be the debut for the Tiger Warrior Stalkers, our precursor weapon slash disc toting units. Generally speaking, units with precursor weapons have a tendency to be rather good. Talking about sneaky gits and chameleon stalkers, and good and very spammable. Though obviously those are much cheaper units than these disc guys. Anyway, the discs, by the looks of it, take out one of the man-eaters who did not have a good day at all, getting hit by all those discs at the same time, so clearly there's a decent little bit of alpha strike on these guys. Unfortunately, they seem to have gone into a column formation as they attempted to back off, which allows some of the man-eaters to close the distance with them, although of course the discs keep flying. And we will have to move our anti-large Tiger Warrior Sawai into combat. Fortunately, he is anti-large specialized and should be able to pin, if not damage, the man-eaters reasonably quickly, while the rest of our army closes the distance. We're not the only ones doing so, however, as over on the left flank, the enemy's saber tusks have arrived once again, but quickly get surrounded by 2 units of the regular Tiger Warriors. And while the regular Tiger Warriors lack armor piercing and anti-large, the Saber Tusks are a rather fragile unit and get torn to shreds rather quickly. Frankly, Saber Tusks as a unit feel like they would also work rather nicely in armies with Tiger Warriors. Anyway, we've now engaged the man-eaters with some peasants who pin them in place with their pitchforks and whatnot, while the arrows hit the man-eaters, with the crossbow bolts rather, and the Tiger Warrior Stalkers loop around the enemy to smash into their rear lines and engage them once more. The Sawai is also knocking down individual ogre man-eaters, having killed 2 already, and about to add a few more to the list. Although by the looks of it, the battle won't last much longer anyway. Searing Doom comes down from the Alchemist that we chose to put into this particular caravan, obliterating half a unit of Nobblers, while the other poor little Nobblers get surrounded by Tigermen from 2 directions and promptly torn to shreds. A little sync jump that all of the frontliners did there. Anyway, the bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor. The Slaughtermaster remains, or probably not for much longer, getting pin-cushioned once again from our crossbows, and the Sawai engages him as well. Until the Slaughtermaster shatters, and with him, Ogre and Nobbler alike flee the scene. Very nice. Alright, there we go. Fun little fight with solid damage out of all of our Tigermen warrior units. Well, unsurprisingly, but of course showing the fact that they are rather light and fragile, so gotta be careful about sending them directly into things. Like man-eaters there. Since it's a caravan, much as I'd love to take the money, we're going to heal up, as I would rather not risk it getting destroyed, especially since we paid extra. Here, Bhashiva has recruited her first units, and what do we have at Blood Peak? Well, certainly better stocked army than last time we fought. Just to double check, we're not in range of more mercenaries, right? Jamming support, no and no. I was wondering whether we were in range of a camp at Yeti Peak, perhaps, but alas, no dice. Here, we will want to build the White Tiger Shrine, though that will confer an extra 10... It will confer an extra 10% recruitment cost reduction and the loss of a recruit rank. However, we don't have a bonus recruit rank for recruiting right now anyway. A, and B... The growth here is atrocious, so we probably want to increase it as fast as we possibly can, so we're going to go for that White Tiger Shrine. Also, I'm pretty sure I saw an increase to the caravan numbers in the tree here, did I not? Yes, I did. Maximum number of active caravans +1. Okay, so we will want to get that ASAP. Gotta remember to start saving points. Basically, go through unyielding, maybe route marcher, and then save points. Enables stalking, stands for the entire army, chance of ambushing any enemy army this army attacks. Aha. Well, isn't that lovely? Anyway, to the Blood Peak we shall go.
The prey awaits us.
And prey awaits us indeed. Ooh, wait. Before we attack this, I do want to check out one thing. First of all, is this the same province? Indeed it is. Does this do anything interesting for us? No, just money and trade goods. Ooh, this should give us over 200 iron favor as well, and our first relic, so it'll unlock those systems for us to check out. Let's kill these, and then let's check them out. Is this a minor settlement or just field battle? Looks like field battle. Go.
Stay light on your feet. They cannot kill what they cannot catch.
I mean, that's a good point, but the ogres are a fair bit faster than the regular tiger warriors. Bhashiva runs faster than them, but the regular tiger warriors at 48 speed are slower than the 54 speed ogre bulls, so good luck to you. Though I did see some upgrades for the speed of our army, or the speed of our units, in the tech tree, and a plus 20% speed will enable the tiger warriors to eventually outrun the ogres. Anyway, here we go. We have got more units on field now, and I've always loved the sort of feeling of the first episode as with every battle, with every turn, you recruit more units and get, well, additional stuff in your stacks. Sort of the escalating odds and sizes of the battles. Though, admittedly, I do really love the small skirmishes offered by the convoys as well, because they have a tendency to be pretty darn fun. But anyway, here we go. The enemy army moves towards us. Of course, the units of crossbows pin the ogres, or pin cushion, rather, the ogres as best they can. And we will ignore the regular nobblers in the center of the enemy formation to move most of our units over to the left and rightmost flanks. In our own center, we will charge our ogre bulls through the nobblers, which should absolutely tear the poor little fellas to shreds. And there we go. And this unit takes about half HP damage from the ogre charge of the dual weapon mercenaries, whereas our own Tigermen have found some of the enemy ogre bulls in the midst of the trees, making use of the debuff that large units suffer when fighting in forests to catch and hopefully destroy the ogre bulls. They're in with a little bit of help from the anti-large Jade Warrior halberds. Alrighty, ogre bulls are now pinned in place and have lost about 30%, 40%, 50% of their HP. They're losing their HP rapidly, is what I'm getting at. They'll knock a few of the regular non-anti-large Tiger Warriors out, I'm sure, but it won't be enough. The anti-large Tiger Warriors, the Iron Claw Tiger Warriors, are closing the distance with the enemy Slaughter Master of Death, who has unfortunately been irritating Bhashiva by dropping Spirit Leeches on her repeatedly. And she's going to quickly rush through the ranks of nobblers. It's time to close the distance and start whacking away at that tyrant as well. Blinding teleportation attacks must be difficult for anybody to deal with, and the Slaughtermaster is no exception, as he shatters and takes with him his entire army. Very nice. Alrighty, working pretty well so far with a mixed unit or mixed army of Jade Warriors and crossbows. I don't yet know what kind of final army composition we're going to use of Bhashiva, but I am excited to try various different Cathay army compositions with the Tiger Warriors and see how they work together. Anyway. Alright, there we another Lichbone pennant? Okay, that I was not expecting, but doubly pleasantly surprised. We'll certainly put this to just as good use as the first one. A lovely amount of gold. We got solid work out of our dual weapon ogre bulls, which we used to mince a bunch of the enemy nobblers, and frankly did the same thing with the Tigermen, though them ambushing the ogres in the trees on the right flank also really helped us out and worked quite well there. Bhashiva went through some of the nobblers herself and obviously minced them before killing off the enemy lord, but did take 2 or 3 spirit leeches and thusly took some damage. We will occupy it for ourselves for obvious reasons and get our first relic, unlocking some systems. Alright, so enemy killed in battle. There's that Lichbone pennant. Attain at least 200 iron favor. Before the might of Shangyang is unleashed, Zhao Ming demands a demonstration. Through a series of challenging trials, Bhashiva must prove her strength, discipline, and unwavering loyalty in displays worthy of the Iron Dragon's attention. Only then will access be granted to the supplies, resources, and personnel of the great armies of Shangyang. Yeah, just deliver him some warpstone drugs and don't bother with any of this. But anyway, devote relics in the Tiger Court. The mere presence of the relic emboldens your kin. There is no question that its legacy must be given purpose. But to what end? Your faithful Iron Claws proclaim as one that it should serve the White Tiger's prophecy, carrying your legend upon the wind to ever more valiant warriors. The fearsome Sawai, fanatically devoted to Kamau, give no ground and insist the relic must be offered to him alone. Yet the eldest claw speakers mutter that in such troubled times, the Tiger Warriors must first remember the traditions of their ancestral lands, just as the 1,000 gods once welcomed Kamau into their divine court to burgeon its wealth and wisdom. Tiger Court unlocked. Alrighty. And we've occupied Blood Pig. Armies of Shangyang unlocked as well. Alright, so let's take a quick look at these before we move. Actually, before I forget, let's grab a couple of... Oh, hello. We got more Cathay units. The additional range support would be nice, I think. So we'll start with the additional range support. And then I guess we immediately gotta move to Ironmouth. Alrighty, also out of curiosity, do we have more? No, we do not have more. Also, what is this? Insignias. Foot soldiers who have entered Bhashiva's service, no matter their other virtues, must prove amenable to the Tiger Warrior ways of war. Huh. Ooh, armor plus 20, melee defense plus 6, even harder to kill off these guys. That's some nice stuff. That's some nice stuff indeed. Don't really care about the immunity to psychology one because you already have... Oh wait, no, you do not already have it. You would have it if... It looked like you had it because you moused over it. But anyway, let's see. Armies of Shangyang. The Armies of Shangyang panel allows... Oh, good lord, this is a lot. Allows the use of iron favors, means to strengthen Bhashiva's armies and military buildings. Jamming's goals contain special missions to complete in return for Iron Favor, additional Grand Cathay units, and special items. Hello, you had me at special items. Actually, all that stuff sounds good. Iron Favor can be spent in the Shangyang Warhold tab, to purchase insignia, special equipment assigned to units. Ah, that's what I was just talking about. And the... Whoa. Or to increase Lord capacity or unit capacity for certain Cathay units. Aha! Alright, so the Lord capacity is important. Vertical bar goes up, we get more stuff. Basically, it fills up as we, get additional stuff unlocked. Go figure. Bhashiva's limited Lord capacity can be increased here using Iron Favor. The groups and individual units that may be assigned specific insignia equipment are listed here according to their battle role. Aha. I suppose that's interesting. Alright, fair enough. A unit, I see some issues with it going forward, but we'll see. Unit capacity is limited and shared across each unit group, but a group's capacity can be increased for, you guessed it, more Iron Favor, and each unit's group-specific set of insignia focuses on offensive, defensive, and wild card effects, respectively. Wildcard means probably that they just don't know how to classify it. Purchased insignia are equipped via the dedicated army panel. Yeah, alright, fair enough. That all makes sense. What else do we have? Ooh, free Celestial Dragon crossbows. I do like that. Capture and occupy the Maw Gate. Destroy the Mountain Eaters. While this goal is active, and we get a Celestial Dragon Guard out of it. Target armies and settlements provide 45 iron favor. Destroy Mountain Eaters. How many settlements do they have? 2 settlements. It's not a lot. Wait a moment. Does this reset every once in a while? Turns until this mission is refreshed if not accepted by then. Huh. Now here's the question. If you accept one, are the others gone? We can't do this one and this one. But we probably could do the... Oh. Capture the Maw Gate is... Oh, these guys... There's 2 missions there. Well, I guess we'll find out, because the Mountain Eaters are right there, and we'll probably head towards them first, just because they're closer. And frankly, I have a feeling that Goldtooth will actually wipe these guys out before we get there. So, yeah, no dice on that. Moscow is active. Target armies and settlements provide plus 45 iron favor when defeated. Alright, that sounds good to me. Plus the Celestial Dragon Guard and our acting as the tip of the spear will actually be quite helpful. Now, 250 to increase army capacity, which is a fair bit. And attain this rank by completing the following objectives. Fulfill Jiao Ming's goals, 1. Attain additional insignias, 1. And recruit a total of 6 Jade Warrior units. Ah, well, we had just started that. Isn't that lovely? Oh, but to get 6 of them, we'll need to... Well, actually, no, we won't need to increase capacity. Either way, let's increase army capacity by 1. As I would like a new lord, because, well, I really just want to see what these guys can do. Let's go with this one. A little bit stronger, a little bit fightier. There's probably better army effects, to be fair, but I'm interested in seeing these guys trait. That. Recruit. What do we have here? Predatory instincts, fight fire with fire passive ability, imbuement flaming attacks, but only for you, correct? Yeah, missile resistance for Ironclaw Tiger Warriors, and melee defense plus 6 for Ironclaw Tiger Warriors. Bhashiva grants 10% physical resistance, and oh. This is specifically for Ironclaw Tigers, not any Tiger Warriors. Ah. I see, so the Sawai essentially specialize in anti-large. They themselves are anti-large killers, single-entity killers, and then they buff the anti-large Guandao units that we only have the 1 of. Alright, fair enough, alright. I think it's a tier 4 building, yeah, so it'll be a bit until we can actually get access to them, but at least we know what this is. What is this? Jade Muster. Alright, well, that's actually letting us recruit these guys, so we'll hold on to them. Unfortunately, these are the unshielded variant, but, you know, may as well use them. And wait, it's the... Huh? Whoa. One moment. This goal says recruit a total of 6. Recruit a total of 6 starting from this point, I take it, because it says current total 0 despite the fact that we have a bunch. So I guess we'll have to recruit the sword and board variants as well. Not that that's a bad thing, mind you, just would have been nice. You. 2,000 gold to immediately upgrade. I'm going to say yes to the immediate upgrade. Don't particularly like the public order losses, but we should be able to deal with it. Devote relics in the Tiger Court. Alright, let's check out the Tiger Court thing. So... Attributes stock for all Tiger Warrior units. That's nice. That's real nice. Reach level 3 devotion for the pillar to unlock. And enables campaign ability White Tiger's Grace. All units gain passive ability regeneration. Yeah, that's real nice. And I take it each one of these devotions has different things. Yes, enables stalking stance for all Tiger Warrior Sawai Lords. Ah, similar to Bhashiva herself. And campaign ability, Kamau's Relentless Hunt for Bhashiva and Tiger Warriors Sawai Lords. This is targeting an enemy army, and ooh, can't retreat from battle is quite nice, I gotta say. And then unlock to the next devotion level. Alright, so physical resistance early for all Tiger Warrior units. Yeah, that seems quite lovely. I don't really care about the vigor loss in leadership as much. And this is a big increase to the bleed. The Prophecy of the White Tiger seems inferior to the other one. I would, however, like to see what this does. Bonus versus large plus 15 for Iron Claw, so even more bonus versus large. Interesting. Alright, fair enough. And what does this do? Charge bonus and armor piercing, weapon and missile damage for all Tiger Warrior units. It's nice, but I gotta say, Way of the Thousand Gods, melee defense and physical resistance. Defensive stats are usually better than offensive stats, especially for units that are already high damage dealing and fragile. So we will devote the first relic to the Way of the Thousand Gods. Though there are upgrades that some of these give to our buildings, which we will also have to, you know, quickly read and see what we get out of them. Because some might be better than other. Tiger Warrior reinforcements will join all non-siege battles within this region. An additional unit of Tiger Warrior Stalkers joins the reinforcement force, which is fine. Anyway, own the entirety of one province. Alright, basically Jiao Ming tells us to kill some jerks. Okay, fair enough. I was just seeing whether the read would be particularly interesting or particularly, you know, loreful, but there's nothing too crazy in that one. You. Can you reach the Firemouth in one go? I fear that you cannot, but you probably want to recruit here anyway, so you're probably fine to do so. Let's go for Unyielding and keep buffing up our Tiger Warriors, and you go max out Replenish. Well, you know what? Let's max out and grab Flock of Doom. Ain't it lovely? Alright, diplomacy-wise, we'll check it again. New trade agreements with the Jade Custodians and Celestial Loyalists. Northern provinces don't want to trade, eh? Well, that's a shame. We could just declare war on the Rebel Lords, but I kind of don't want to come back down here for them to attack us, so we'll just trade with whatever Cathay and sub-factions or minor factions we can.
This is hardly
And we'll continue ignoring Karakazorn as long as they're fighting Goldtooth. Although they do like us, we could kill Goldtooth and keep the dwarfs alive if we tried really hard. I don't think we care that much. And again, I like the sort of friendship between, well, friendship is maybe too strong a word, between Greasus and Jiao Ming, so, yeah, kind of more inclined to leave him alone, at least at the current time. Anyway, I believe that's an end turn. What? Damn, it said something. Available something, and then I skipped it. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm willing to bet it, what? No, it wasn't the Iron Favor. Oh, it was the armies of Xiangyang, Jiao Ming's goals missions. But we got 5 turns to deal with this, so... yeah, and we have to go to Firemouth first either way. Oh, wait. Okay, I was wondering whether these guys had more territory, but they don't, so they'll be destroyed shortly. Too bad we didn't get a mission for the Firemouth. And now, Garamagate and Mountain Eaters, which is what we're going to take. Alright, fair enough, end turn. And, okay, yeah, I was wondering if that was a Chaos Dwarfen caravan, but no, it's just another Cathay caravan. Also, wait, would any Chaos Dwarfen caravans even come down through the mountains and warn like this? Because they take the trip from Jarnagrund. I do believe that the Haunted Forest is one of their destinations, but then they'd probably move primarily through the Darklands. What do we have here? Among a ring of dead fire pits and broken wagons lies the husk of a long deserted camp, picked over by crows, but not, perhaps, by careful hands. Reaching it would mean straying from the road, rather, yet old caravans have been known to leave behind more than bones. Ignore them or gain plus 200 cargo. 1 turn for 20% increase in cargo? That seems worth it. Search the camp. I didn't mean to. Game, I'm sorry. What is this? The White Tiger's duty. The fate you have ordained for the first recovered relic sits ill with some, but all find solace in your reclaimed heritage. Hope is not lost while the White Tiger leads the tribe beneath the gaze of their savior god. Through meditative communion, strained by the turmoil of ruin upon the elemental winds, Kamau will reveal more relics for you to seek in fulfillment of your duty. Your chosen path may shape both your destiny and the balance of power in the region. Interesting. Path of the Tiger Warrior. Where there are relics, there will be danger. As the White Tiger, you must walk this path. For 3 turns, upkeep reduction, campaign movement range, reveal nearby relics. Casualty punishment for yin units and magic item drop chance from battle. Good. So we have a relic up here. We were going to attack these guys anyway. Well, we have to fight Grimgor anyway, so no choice there. And, oh! The Great Hall of Greasus has a relic? That's somewhat concerning. Maybe we do want to kill him after all. Fair enough. Alright, we can reach this with you, and we can reach this with you. And this is the same territory, so we will be able to recruit at least once more before this disappears. And then, just before we attack again, I just want to see... Not this. What did I want to see? I don't know, I wanted to see something, but I forgot what it was, so now we're attacking. Oh, actually I did want to... I just remembered what I wanted to see. Yeah, it's 2 out of 6, so we just have to keep recruiting. Fair enough. And you can reinforce. We'll start leveling you as you follow. Ooh, you go to Bhashiva. No, Bhashiva already has magical attacks, as does the Claw Speaker. These guys do not, however. And, put it on one of the crossbows, maybe. Like so. Alright, then, you, I presume, are not in range of any ogre camps. Alright, fair enough. You're gonna go to reinforce then. And we will be taking our first province immediately after this victory, so... Firemouth, let's go.
Fight smart, my kin! Kama will reward his most cunning warriors!
Alright, will he reward his most stabby warriors? I would also like to know this. Anyway, here we go, another battle for the kitties who want to play, and once again against the ogres, who I have been enjoying fighting in this first episode. Though, with the episode rapidly approaching its conclusion, I would say not to worry, as most likely I will drop a second episode later today down the line as well. Probably with some time between the two for the upload time. But anyway, we will move into position to take advantage of the rather nice terrain that we have here. A little bit of impassable terrain over on the right flank should protect same said flank, while the rest of our units move to pin the enemy ogres. Once again, trying our best to use our anti-large to deal with the enemy ogres, and then, well, not so much caring about the nobblers. This time, Bhashiva will charge the enemy directly with her Iron Claw Tiger warriors, surrounding the enemy Slaughtermaster and his Bruiser Protector there. Definitely not making the same mistake of allowing the enemy to drop spells over the course of the battle. And this time around, the Jade Warriors rapidly pin a unit of ogres and then pin cushion them thanks to the Jade Warrior crossbows, while another unit of Jade Warrior, or another unit of ogre bulls, will get caught by 2 of our units of Tigermen, pinned in place and clawed apart, all the while the bolts continue raining down on them from above. Same thing is repeating itself over on the right flank, though the ogres did get a much better ogre charge into one of our unit of Tiger Warriors, taking about half of their HP before they got torn to shreds by the other unit taking advantage of its devastating flanker. By the looks of it, the battle lines are now going to converge, with the enemy right and leftmost flanks having completely collapsed, their range units taken apart by our Jade Warrior crossbows, and only the central figures, the Slaughtermaster and the Bruisers, still fighting, together with, is it 1 unit of ogres or 1 unit of nobblers or something? But it'll be nothing soon enough. Alrighty, and there we go with that. By the looks of it, the army losses are beginning to tell. At the very least, the Slaughtermaster is beginning to waver, once again still surrounded by the Guandao infantry and their anti-large. And Bhashiva's in here somewhere as well, but now is going to leave the infantry to take care of the Slaughtermaster while she deals with the Tyrant. And the Slaughtermaster routs, and a few more blows from Bhashiva sees the Bruiser shattered as well. Probably wasn't enjoying Hidden Huntress debuffing his defenses. And we'll see one more time if we can't get a nice little execution on the Slaughtermaster as he attempts to escape, but escape too slowly by the looks of it. Poor fella is hobbling away. And that better land. There we go. Alright, that little spinning attack to execute the fella seems like showing off a little bit, but I had needed to anyway. There we go. with that the Slaughtermaster drops. I gotta appreciate the completely unnecessary flourish of the attack, though. I love it. Alrighty, there we go. That's some solid Tigermenning. Tigering. Tiger warrioring. Tiger something. Anyway, 2,000 treasury reward post-battle loot is pretty darn nice. We once again got great work out of the Iron Claw Tiger Warriors, as their anti-large is coming in particularly handy against the ogres, but frankly the ogres getting surrounded by the anti-infantry regular Tiger Warriors is also not working out too well for them. Otherwise, I believe Bhashiva did get a little bit more damage than I would like, but we should heal up over the end turn rather nicely, so most likely it won't matter over much. There we go. The Iron Dragon's missive is completed. And the armies of Shangyang are now available. They can be accessed here. Was this not already available before? Oh, we do have to... Oh, look at that. Maybe it wasn't available. Because now it's saying that we got 6. Okay, well then we'll need to, I take it, attain one of the insignias. I'm going to take the Celestial Emperor insignia, rather. Like so. And fulfill Jiaming's goals completed, a 0 out of 1. Okay, that should be as simple as... Ooh, free Swordmaster. I guess you could have one, but anyway. Province secured. Hold the disorder by winning multiple battles. Control over the Ivory Road is fraying. You would be among the few bold enough to speak it aloud in the Heartland, but here, amidst the barons, none can deny it. Alright, so fair enough. Oh, hello. This might be giving us a little bit of a story for what's going to happen here. More and more wasteland dwellers who once kept to their own or could be swayed by reason and coin now turn to ruinous pursuits, which incidentally are my favorite kind of pursuits. Of the demonic figure behind it, only broken testimonies reach you, and the name Vrask seeps from hostile lips, often in dying breaths. To spare warriors from the pursuit of phantoms is unthinkable. Your Tiger Court has resolved the trade between Cathay and the West must not run dry at the Dark God's whim, and so they call upon the Desert Tigress to cull disorder, for her people are loyal, steadfast, and resilient against the lure of ruin. Blood Guzzler is destroyed. There we go. Alrighty, well, we've got our first province now tied up with free... I was gonna say free hunting camp, but I'm inclined to actually double up on the growth. And then the second building here we'd probably want to immediately build will be the Jade Muster, or not the Jade Muster, the Peasant Huts, in order to reduce the construction in only the local region, mind you. Actually, you know what? Let's actually start with this one this time around, because we should have enough growth to quickly be able to upgrade this thing anyway. Like so. And then that'll reduce the construction cost of it and the infrastructure, and then we'll delete it once it's replaceable, which I take it is the sort of intent with this type of building. Anyway, with our first province secured, we can activate our commandments. Any growth commandments? Yeah, we got control +4 and growth +10. Not quite as good as the Iron Dragon's Edict with that additional construction cost reduction, though. Gotta go with the construction cost reduction. Save us 200 gold. The growth is going to be counteracted already, and frankly, +10 growth isn't all that much anyway. Oh, I do like the fact that we have an anti-plague thing as well, as that will definitely come in handy in the future. Anyway, this is probably a good stepping off point for this particular first episode. Our first province secured, our first missions done, our systems unlocked, and sort of new foes next time. This episode, and probably about half of next episode, will be devoted to fighting the ogres, but considering the proximity of Grimgor and the fact that we are pretty much pigeonholed into fighting him, most likely we'll be starting to take him on either next episode or the episode after, and we'll try to complete our first mission or our first Jiao Ming goals next time around as well. Also, let me know if you'd like me to keep reading through the little mini quest battle blurbs. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm just curious on what the consensus is here. So far I've been reading them because obviously we haven't played Tiger Warriors before, and there might be some interesting lore tidbits there since they're not the most lore-full faction, as in not lore-full, but full of lore, as in we have a lot of information about them, but anyway, I digress. More Tigermen to come, so stay tuned for more Bhashiva. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.